So are you one of those golfers who gets their tee shots in play, but then you've got a straightforward iron shot to the green, and unfortunately, you top it, thin it, and even on that occasional one that you get a good strike on it, super, super high, feel like you lose a little bit of accuracy, and the ball goes nowhere. And I know what you're thinking, 143 yards with a 7-iron isn't nowhere, but compared to how far I should hit this, it's quite a long way back. Now, welcome down to a very cold Heron's Reach today. You can see woolly hats on, and that little thinny one was not good for the fingertips. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you a little drill. If you can rehearse this for maybe 3 to 5 minutes a day, is going to transform the way you strike your irons, compress the golf ball, and hit the ball further and more accurately than ever before. So first things first, let's look at that last shot and let's look at what causes the fat, the thins, and the ones that go nowhere. So when we look at that last shot on TrackMan, we can see that the low point of the golf swing was 0.7 inches behind. So the club's travelled up 0.6 degrees, launched at 25.5 degrees, and the smash factor down at 1.27. Now, smash factor, just to explain, is just simply how efficiently we transfer energy from club to ball. And kind of with 7-iron, I should be at least kind of 1.33. A lot of guys talk about 1.5, that's getting into driver. The more lofted a club, the smash factor will go down. But we could see low point was behind and a very, very weak impact position. Now, obviously what we're looking to produce when we hit an iron shot from the floor is more accuracy. We can see there, smash factor just under where I would like it to be, but low point 3 inches ahead, clubs now move down 3.6 degrees. The ball's launched at 18.1 degrees and carried at just under 161, which is pretty much my number. So what's the little drill? All you need is another club in order to do this. And what you're going to do with the other club is you're going to set yourselves up and you're going to put the other club inside your trail foot. And it's going to be a little reference point for what the club face is going to be like on the way down, because predominantly most people struggle getting that club face square at impact and they have to manipulate the club on the way down to square it up. But it's also going to give you something to miss to move that low point ahead. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to practice swinging, and as you swing down, missing that, because if I release the club early, I'm going to catch a shaft, and touching in front of where the ball would be. So a great feel is that when you get to the top of your swing, you move aggressively towards the target, almost falling towards the target, and that's going to get that low point ahead. So like I said, that in itself is a great little rehearsal for most golfers. Now, if you were to then hit a shot normally from there, you'll probably see a much better strike. So nearer the middle, low point way ahead, launch angle down, carry about the same, but that one missing quite a bit off to the right. So the first bit of the drill is incredibly easy. The second part that you want to rehearse is that you get to the top, move towards the target, and as the club gets down to where the shaft is, you can see your club face would be pointing to the right. It's not squared up. So you want to practice move and then get that club face square by that back line. And you can see as that continues forward, we're going to have lots of shaft lean, nice square club face, low point ahead, and we're going to start ticking all the boxes. So we're going to set up in that lead wrist down a little bit more, strengthen the club face. So once I can rehearse that little feeling there, can I put that into the full swing? Now, might feel, if you're somebody who misses that way, because like I said, the way you've squared the club up in the past is that club face would be open, the hands, body stop, and we flip to square that club face up. You might feel like this had missed to the left. So there's two parts in this, isn't there? We're going to make sure we move towards the target, and then we're going to get that club face feeling much more square earlier in the downswing and hit that shot and see what we get. Okay, so it did miss a little bit left, but we can see, even with a slight toe strike, smash factor has jumped up to 1.38, low point 4.5 inches ahead, clubs moved down nearly 6 degrees, launching at 14 degrees and 167 carry. Now, I'll be honest, if you're someone who fats it, thins it and pops it up in the air, that one will feel like an unbelievably good shot. But we can see there it wasn't quite as good as it could have been. So let's go again. Go back, move towards the target, make sure that club face is square by that back shaft. It's a great little visual to make sure that that club face is square. And like I said, if the club face is square there, you're already starting to create shaft lean from pressure shift and that lead wrist and trail wrist being in much better positions. So I'm going to go one more with the club shaft there. That one felt lovely. So 5.9 inches ahead, 1.36 smash, 7 degrees down, 12.4 degree launch angle, and 159 yard carry. Now, I know what you're probably going to comment there. That's maybe too de-lofted with 7-iron. Absolutely, because I think if you did that with other clubs, you wouldn't get the ball in the air. But it's always worth overdoing something. But the key to any drill is it's only good if you can do it without that extra club there. So now we're going to set up, get that same feeling, shift in early, feel like that club face would be nice and square earlier, and then commit to that swing. That felt the best of the lot. So good solid strike, 4.9 inches ahead, clubs travelled down 5.8 degrees, smash at 1.4, launching at 14.5 degrees, carry at nearly 164. Now, even for me, I've never been somebody who's necessarily popped the ball up too high, but that little flippy movement for me has always got my club face too closed. Now for me, what I've got to remember is if my club face is closed, the more shaft lean I can get, that's actually going to keep my club face square longer. So this is double bubble. If you're someone that hooks the ball, this is going to get me hitting it straighter. If you're someone who slices and really strikes it poorly, this is going to help. But you don't really even need to be hitting balls with this drill. You can get that shaft down by that back foot, get that early shift, square that club face up early, and if you can get good with that, really is going to transform the way you hit those iron shots, hit it on the green, and if you miss the green, maybe you'll be that little bit closer, but absolutely for 5 minutes a day, this will, I guarantee, transform your iron game.